Not every delay in your life is spiritual warfare. Not every struggle is from the enemy. Sometimes the real issue is the influence of the people closest to you. The Bible teaches that influence is powerful because the people around you can either strengthen your walk with God or slowly weaken it without you noticing. God does not command us to hate anyone, but He repeatedly warns us to be wise about who we allow to shape our thinking, our habits, and our spiritual hunger. If you want to grow, you must learn to recognize certain patterns in people that can quietly affect your destiny. The first person to be careful with is the one who constantly speaks from a place of dissatisfaction. This is the person who always notices what is wrong and rarely acknowledges what is right. Numbers 11:1 and 1 Corinthians 10 verse 10 show us how the Israelites complained so much that it changed the atmosphere of an entire nation. Complaining is not just talking negatively. It is a mindset that trains your eyes to ignore God's goodness. When you spend time around someone like this, you begin to lose your sense of gratitude. You start measuring your life by what you lack instead of what God has already done. Over time, faith weakens because faith grows best in a thankful heart. A complaining environment slowly reshapes how you see your own life. The second person to be careful with is the one who feeds on information about others. Titus 3 verse 10 and Proverbs 6 verses 16 to 19 warn strongly about those who sow discord. This person always has a story, an update, or a secret about someone else. Conversations with them are filled with details you never asked for. The danger is not just the gossip itself, but how it changes your perception. You begin to see people through suspicion rather than grace. You begin to form opinions based on whispers instead of truth. God hates this behavior because it destroys unity quietly. If someone is comfortable discussing others with you, they will be comfortable discussing you with others. Guard your mind from voices that constantly pull you into unnecessary information. The third person to be careful with is the one who resists correction. Proverbs 9 verse 8 and Proverbs 12 verse 1 describe a person who cannot be advised. Every attempt to help them becomes a debate. Every correction becomes an insult. This person may be confident, outspoken, and even persuasive, but their refusal to be corrected keeps them from growing. Growth requires humility, and humility accepts guidance. If you stay closely connected to someone who refuses to grow, you will eventually be affected by the results of their repeated mistakes. You cannot build a healthy future alongside someone who refuses to change unhealthy patterns. The fourth person to be careful with is the one who has a public faith but a private contradiction. Matthew 23 verses 27 to 28 shows how Jesus addressed people who appeared righteous on the outside but lacked true character within. These individuals know the right words to say. They know how to appear spiritual in public spaces. However, their lifestyle does not reflect genuine transformation. The danger of being around this type of person is subtle. You begin to believe that Christianity is about image rather than integrity. You start focusing on how things look instead of who you are becoming. Over time, pretending replaces true growth. The fifth person to be careful with is the one who distracts you from God without leading you into obvious sin. 1 Corinthians 15 verse 33 and Proverbs 13 verse 20 remind us that company influences character. This person is pleasant to be around. They are kind, friendly, and enjoyable. However, after spending time with them, you realize that your spiritual focus weakens. You pray less. You read scripture less. Your thoughts are less centered on God. They do not encourage wrongdoing, but they quietly replace your hunger for God with constant distraction. This is dangerous because it does not feel wrong, yet slowly pulls you away from devotion. All of these examples show one important truth. Influence is powerful. The people you allow close to you will shape how you think, how you speak, and how you relate to God. God's instruction is not about rejecting people, but about guarding your heart. You can care about people without allowing them to direct your life. You can love people without allowing them to influence your walk with God. Scripture says, "Walk with the wise and become wise." That statement is not symbolic. It is practical. Your environment affects your growth. Your circle affects your focus. Your relationships affect your spiritual health. If you're serious about growing, you must be intentional about who you allow to influence you. Take a careful look at your circle. Notice how you feel after spending time with certain people. Notice whether your faith feels strengthened or weakened. Notice whether your mind feels clear or troubled. These observations are not random. They are signals that help you understand what kind of influence is shaping your life. Choosing your company wisely is not pride. It is wisdom. It is not rejection. It is protection, because who you walk with today is quietly shaping where you will arrive tomorrow. As you step away from this video, take a quiet moment to think about the people around you and how they're shaping your walk with God. Sometimes growth is not about doing more, but about choosing wiser. Protect your heart, guard your peace, and be intentional with the voices you allow into your life. If this message helped you see something clearly, don't keep it to yourself. Like this video so more people can find it. Share it with someone who needs this reminder, and subscribe to this channel for more Bible truths that strengthen your faith in your daily walk with God.